Hi Sanjana, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good. What about you?
I'm good too, thank you. So can you tell me something about yourself?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you to let me introduce myself. My name is Sanjana Patil. Basically, I am from Maharashtra. I completed my post graduation from Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded. Then I got married and I came to Hyderabad. Now I am living in Hyderabad only.
Mm-hmm.
I completed my software testing course in Hyderabad
Mm-hmm.
and I am looking for the job right now.
Okay, okay, great, great. Fine. So what do you know about static variable in Java?
Static variable.
Yeah, static variable.
Okay. Static variable are those variable which have static keywords with them. Uh, these variables are class variable instead of the instance of the class variable.
Mm-hmm.
The variable which are declared inside the class but outside the methods, those variables are known as static variables. Static variables are something which are common for all the object of the classes. Means, for example, if a number of students are there, all the student are belongs from the class second, so we can make a class second as a static variable which is common for all the students.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so static variable is nothing but it's a class level variable, right? Which
Yes.
belongs to the class itself rather than any instance of that class. Okay, now what is the difference between static and instance variables?
Static variables are common for every object, and instance variable uh, are provide the different values to the different objects in the class.
Sorry, can you please come again?
Static variables are common for all the objects,
Mm-hmm.
but instance variable are declared outside the methods, but provides different value to the different object. Means they provide different values to all the objects.
Correct, correct. So static variables, when you say common, you can also say they are shared among all the instances of the class.
All,
Whereas
yes,
instance variables belong to the individual instances of the class itself. Right?
yes,
Static variables, they will be initialized only once when the class is loaded, while the instance variables are initialized separately for each object. Right? Okay. Now tell me, can the static variables be accessed without creating an object of the class?
static variables.
Mhm. Can we
Yes,
access? Yes, it can be accessed, right? It can be
yes.
accessed. So how will you access a static variable?
Um, by directly calling them,
Hmm. Yes, you are going in the right direction. By
by right directly calling them whenever like need of variable when we create an when we write a method,
Mhm.
we can call the variables.
So you don't need to, you cannot access those particular variables because you cannot create an object. So
Okay.
how, yeah, so how will you? So let me showcase to you. No worries. See, let me share my screen. Mm, Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So what you will do is you can access the static variables from the class name itself. And you can use, let's say my class is one of the class name. You can write dot my static variable. So this is your variable, right? You are accessing it using the class and it is followed by the dot operator. As you don't have to create the object of this particular variable. You can access
Yes.
it using the class name itself. Okay, great. Okay. Now, can we access non-static variables from static methods?
Static methods, no sir. Static method only accept static variables only,
Mm-hmm. Right. So you can, so based on static methods, cannot directly access non-static variables or methods,
non-static variables,
right? So you can access them via object reference. That's how you can
objects.
tell them. Okay, now, can a static variable be accessed within a non-static method?
Yes, we can access the static variables
Mhm.
inside the non-static methods.
Okay. What is the purpose of using static variables?
Static variables basically used for the memory management. Means it will get the memory only at the runtime when the class is going to execute,
Mhm.
and it is common for every variables every object. So we will saving our memory. So basically the static variables are used for the memory management.
Mhm. So when you have to maintain values, for example, you have to represent constants, you have to represent counters or shared resources across all instances, then you will be using static variables. Okay, so this is good. Then, okay, what do you mean by classes and interface?
Classes and interface.
Yeah. What is the difference between interface and abstract class?
Abstract class, okay.
Hmm.
uh, Both are used for achieving the abstractions,
Hmm.
where interfaces are also called as 100% abstraction mechanism.
Hmm.
In interface it will consist only abstract methods, where in abstract classes it have abstract and non-abstract both methods. In interface it is kind of blueprint, which can the variables are public only in the sorry static final.
Yeah,
Variables are static and final. In
correct.
abstraction except private, it can be anything. Methods are public only in interface.
Hmm.
And abstraction class, the methods can except private, the method can be anything, any access modifiers.
Hmm. Hmm.
We implement for implementing the interface, we use implement keyword, and for extending the abstract classes we use extend keyword.
Correct, correct. Okay. So apart from this, you can also cover these particular examples, these particular differences. So constructor, an abstract class can have constructor, an interface cannot have any kind of constructor.
Have yes, yes.
Yeah. Access modifiers, we can use any access modifiers like public, private, default, and protected. In case of interface, you can use only public access modifiers. I think type of variable you covered, abstract class, you can have final, non-final, static, and non-static. Whereas in interface, you can have only static and final. Here you will go for abstract as a keyword. Here you will go for interface as a keyword, right? So yeah, so I think in interface you can use public. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'm giving you screen sharing rights. You need to write a simple program explaining abstract class and interface. You can click on share screen button, the green color button,
Okay.
right? So you have to write a simple program with abstract class and another program with interface. Can you open anything like Notepad++ or whichever ID
Yes.
you're comfortable? If you're comfortable with ID, you can write in ID. If you're comfortable with Notepad, open Notepad.
Okay, I have to download.
Yeah, download it. No worries. You can take your time. Or if you have ID, you can write an ID as
Yes, sir.
well. So you have to write a program on abstract class and on interface.
Means what I have to like.
Mhm. Write a sample program in which you are using abstract class first, and then second program in which you are using interface.
What type of code like I have to miss?
Any code that you are able to explain the concept of abstract class in that code.
So this is interface. Is it correct, sir?
This is an interface. Okay. So what are you doing in this interface, and where do you use it?
So I created one method in interface.
Hmm.
Sorry, this is like abstract methods only. Is it correct, sir, or not?
Hmm. Okay, so you are using one interface, but you are using in the same main method. Let me showcase one example to you. Wait, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, now is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? See, we have this interface, which is printable. Okay, now this is a separate interface, which what it is doing, it is having a method of print. It will take care of the print thing. Now we have a separate class, which is implementing this particular interface, right? So what
Okay.
I'll do is, as we saw in that difference between the two, class A6 implements printable. So it is using implements keyword. mm, and it would reuse that particular interface. And then you can create an object in the main method, right? This is an example of an interface. So in an
Okay.
interview, if they ask you to showcase the usage of interface in a program, then you can explain like this. Now I'll show you for abstract class also. See, this is abstract class, and it is having one method, that is void run. Okay, now what we are doing is we are using class Honda, which is extending this bike, which is extending this class. Okay, so bike is an abstract class. It contains only one method, which is again abstract method, which is run, and class, this is a separate class. This is extending this particular class. And what we are doing is we are also creating an object. So its implementation is also provided here, right? So this is an example of an abstract class. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move to the another program. So now what you have to do is you have to swap two numbers without using temporary or third variable in Java. So how will you swap two numbers in Java without using the third variable? You're getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So can you write that code?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can share your screen. Don't feel nervous, okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you want any hint on that? You're already doing
Um,
practice in Java.
Actually,
Yeah. So how do you practice
so
all these programs?
like
In
without using any
third.
uh, another variable, or yes,
Hmm.
we can like first. Okay, let me start.
No worries, no worries. Take your time. You want to explain first, you can go for explanation. You want to write first, whichever is
Yeah.
fine with you. How do you feel about this program? Is it simple? Is it very difficult?
No, it is it simple, but let me solve this first.
Okay.
Is it correct, sir?
Hello. Yeah. So, okay, so you have written this
Yes,
program.
right,
Now,
sir.
can you run this program?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Before swapping, it is 20 and it is 10. After swapping, it is 10 and 20. Yes, it is absolutely correct. Good thing. Good work. Okay, now let's take one more program in which you need to reverse the string in Java. So let's take a string as your name and you have to reverse it. That is your string before it is Sanjana. After reversing, it should be ANAJNAS.
Yes, yes, sir.
So you can remove that particular previous program, num1 and num2, those kind of things. Yeah, yeah, remove them or you can comment whichever. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is one of the approach. Now, which is the another approach? How will you optimize this?
So, sir.
So this is one of the approach. This is correct. But how will you optimize it? And do you know about any other approach with the help of which you can do this kind of reversing a string? You can get the solution of this problem.
Like assigning the int equal to int is less than name dot length. I means int I equal to less than name dot length, then I is greater than 0 and I
Hmm.
minus minus.
So that will also give you the, okay, so that is also for loop that you are using.
For
But
loop,
any,
yes.
yeah, any other approach apart from for loop?
No, sir.
Mhm. Okay, maybe you can use for loop as well, but any other approach apart from this, any other mechanism that you are able to recall?
Reverse method.
Okay, that is the built-in method that we have.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
apart from that, any other approach?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, no worries. Let me share my screen. I'll showcase you one more approach for this. So what you can do is you can reverse the string using byte array. So what we are doing is we are using get bytes method to convert string into the bytes. Okay. So this method we are using here. See, whatever input string you have, you can put dot get bytes, and then you can store this particular result, and then the same for loop that you can use here. For
Okay.
integer I equal to 0, I is less than the byte array dot length, and so on and so forth. Right? This is one of the approach. Then this approach you already took. Apart from this, there is one more approach of using that built-in method. So this looks good.
So basically, you are like
Hmm.
converting string into an array.
Yes, yes. In that, okay. Let me reshare it to you. Wait. Okay. Now is it visible what we are doing?
No, sir. Not it.
It's not visible to you.
No.
Wait. What happened? Hmm, yeah. See, basically, what we are doing is we are creating an, yeah, yeah. Now is it visible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Mhm. So we are creating a temporary byte array of length equal to the length of the input string. So whichever string you take, according to that, we'll create a byte array. Then we'll store these bytes, which we get by using get bytes method, right? And we'll
Okay.
traverse them in reverse order, right? So that's how we will be doing it. Hmm? Okay. Now, what do you mean by polymorphism?
Polymorphism is a mechanism in which one task can be performed in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, polymorphism is there are two types of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism.
Mm-hmm.
Over method overriding overloading is known as compile time polymorphism, and
Mm-hmm.
method overriding is known as runtime polymorphism. So in
Okay.
polymorphism, like we can perform one task in a different ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give me an example of a polymorphism, both method overloading and method overriding?
So it is basically used for reusability of the code. In method overloading, basically one class have number of methods with the same name,
In method
but the
overloading, you're
different
telling.
path. Overloading, method
Okay.
overloading, it
Mm.
have just a minute, sir.
Yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries. Take your time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. So
Actually, I have a little daughter, so
mm, that's great news. So wish her
she wake
regards
up.
from our end. Yeah, she woke up right now. Great,
Yes.
great, great. No worries. This is the last question. After this, the interview will be
Yes.
ending.
So in method overloading,
Mm,
if it can be achieved with the method names are same, but the condition is the parameter must be the different
mm,
in the numbers. So for example, I have to add two numbers in
mm,
a class, and again I have to add some three numbers. In that case, ec- apart from creating another like new method, I can like name that same method add.
mm,
For example, public add, I am creating this method.
mm,
Then I can change in the parameters. So first, in first method I am adding two, num1 and num2.
mm, mm,
In a second method, which is having the same name add,
mm.
but this is different in the parameters, like there are three parameters, num1, num2 and num3.
Naam three. Correct, correct. So
Yes,
multiple
this
methods with
can
the
be
same name.
easily.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, but
and
different
it is
parameters.
easy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
it is
Okay.
easy for like use for reusability and readability. It increase the readability of the program. And method overriding, it is happens when inheritance is the two classes are connected to each other.
Mm,
uh, if subclass is having the method as same as the parent class, then condition must be the method is having the same name as the parent class name.
mm,
Parent method, parent having the method same name, and parameters also be same, and the return type also be the same.
mm-hmm. Correct, correct.
So if a class having the method as animal,
Mm,
so in child class also we can have a method called animal, which saves the memory and you like use for reusability of the code.
okay, okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much, Sanjana. It was nice talking to you. And do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
But what your suggestions for me?